Welcome to this introduction to fostering with Bracknell Forest Council. I'm Sarah Crawforth, I'm the Recruitment and Publicity Officer, and I'm going to walk you through the different aspects of fostering. What we'll be covering specifically is what fostering is, the role of the foster carer, why children come into care, types of fostering, who can foster, why foster for us and the support on offer, and more about the assessment process. So firstly, what is fostering? Fostering involves caring for a child who is in the care of the local authority. This is known as a child looked after. Children can be all ages when they need foster placements, 0 to 18 years, and you as carers can state an age preference depending on your skills and household. Fostering placements can vary in duration depending on type. And the local authorities are responsible for finding suitable matches between the child and the carer for all children from within their borough. It's different from adoption as parents retain parental responsibility. So let's look at types of fostering. There's the option to choose the types of placements that suit you. So short term tends to be the most common. This is temporary arrangement up to around 2 years, normally whilst care proceedings are undertaken. Then we have long-term fostering. So this is permanence for the child from whatever age they are up until adulthood, and really is an alternative to adoption. This is for respite and emergency, so very time-limited placements. Respite is supporting our own carers. For instance, if they have an appointment or an emergency themselves and they can't care for the child, emergencies tend to be quite short notice, and these can be for a multitude of reasons. Short break care also very time limited, but supporting family with a child who has a disability, giving them some respite. And parent and child fostering, also known as mother and baby fostering, is around keeping mums, babies, fathers and babies together and giving them an opportunity to learn whilst living with carers themselves. And supported lodgings, which is support for young people, sort of 16 and above, living with foster carers, hoping to learn some life skills and then transition to living independently. So why do children come into care? There can be many reasons why children come into care. The most common are neglect and abuse. So abuse could be emotional, physical, or sexual. There are other reasons such as family conflict, parental poor health, it's physical or mental health, death or bereavement in the family, imprisonment or criminal activity, substance misuse, or domestic violence. So what do foster carers do? Let's look at the role of the foster carer. There's a nurturing part to being a foster carer, as you would expect, much in the way you would care for maybe your own child, looking after them in terms of school runs, cooking, routines, listening to them, having fun. There's also a more professional element of the role where we ask foster carers to contribute at meetings with other professionals about the child's education and well-being. Foster carers keep logs and records of anything significant that happens when the child's with them. They also take and collect their child from contact, the looked after child. Children generally have contact with family. This can be multiple times a week. It's held outside of the foster carer's home. It's often supervised. And foster carers also are asked to undertake relevant training, usually a minimum of 30 hours a year. This can be online or face-to-face. And help a child transition to their next placement or return home or to adoptive parents depending on the circumstances. So can you foster? I'm hoping in most cases the answer is yes, but there are a few prerequisites. So having a spare room is a key one. It does need to be a room that isn't usually used for any other reason. Some people get creative in converting lofts or garages, which is fine, but so long as the room is vacant. You do need time for the child and for meetings. So we have foster carers who work, have flexible jobs, but there are obviously you do need to be able to devote time to the child. Support network's really useful too. Friends and family who might be local. Good health, as the medical is involved in the assessment. And also childcare experience, so you don't have to have parented your own child, but to have some experience, whether voluntary or babysitting or with nieces and nephews, is really useful. And from a sort of qualities point of view, we look for people who are caring and patient and who are empathetic and can put themselves in the shoes of the child. It's also really good to be able to be resilient and adaptable and kind of go with the flow. Sometimes situations do change. But we, are as inclusive as we can be. You could be single or in a couple, any ethnicity, any sexual orientation. Renting is fine. If you rent and don't own your own home, subject to consent of the landlord, then that's no problem. Family-friendly pets as well. Lots of questions about pets. As long as they're not dogs on the Dangerous Dogs Act, that's absolutely fine too. So why choose Bracknell Forest Fostering? So let's look at what makes us different. We're not for profit, unlike independent fostering agencies. We always approach our in-house carers first about all age children, so they have the widest choice of placements. We have a good Ofsted, so we rated actually outstanding for services children looked after, really reflecting the support on offer. We treat foster carers as professionals and a valuable part of one big team supporting the child. Other support includes specialist training, support groups and social workers, all locally on your doorstep. A great local community of about 50 other Bracknell Forest fostering households who all support one another. Free use of local attractions, that includes the Coral Reef, Leisure Centre and other attractions such as Downshire Golf Club for foster carers. Social events, whether it's celebration evenings, trips to the beach, fun days, coffee mornings and more. We offer financial support up to £425 per child per week and 24/7 telephone support as well. Finally, we offer membership to the Fostering Network, which is the UK's largest fostering charity. They have lots of advice and guidance and support for foster carers available. So let's look at the process. We say the process in total takes around 6 months. It normally would start with either a home visit or video call. Then we ask you to complete an application form and sign a consent form, and from there you enter into the actual assessment. Looking at the first stage of the assessment, there's a number of activities that normally take place. So we take references from people you put down on your application, including friends and family, any ex-partners that you've had children with, and employment references. Medicals either happen at a GP or the GP will fill in the medical forms. We do a DBS check for all adults on the house. The prospective carers attend Skills to Foster course. And we have a health and safety check of the home. There's also a pet assessment if you have pets, and some homework creating your own family tree. From here, you enter into the second stage of the assessment. This involves regular meetings or telephone conversations with your assessing social worker. They will talk about lots of different topics to get you to know you really well. Might include why you want to foster and the age preferences, details around your childhood and how you were parented, more about your adulthood, your identity and relationships, your experience of loss, achievements, skills and experience with children. They'll cover the fostering standards and how you can promote the health and well-being of a child. And then this is written up and you get to review and sign off your final report, Form F, which goes to panel. The top tips for assessment. So I've put together a few tips as a recruitment officer that I thought are helpful. This is be informed and don't be afraid to ask questions. So I say read as much as you can, talk to foster carers and professionals and get as much information. Talk to your friends and family as well. Think about who's in your support network and how they could help. Get your timing right. So ask yourself, am I at a stable point in my life? Sometimes if you've experienced a big life change or you have them on the horizon, it might not be the right time. However, we also would say don't put off something you could do today just to do it tomorrow. Be open and honest. So we want it to be right for you. So we ask you to be as transparent as you can and we in return are the same. Make space and declutter at home. So although the spare room doesn't need to be fully ready at the beginning, it's good to try and sort of get things as you want them. And the social worker will want to see that there is sort of sufficient space for the child when they visit or they see your home. And some reasons to go for it. So it's estimated that over the next 12 months, 7,220 new fostering households are needed in the UK. Fostering, while it can be challenging, can be highly rewarding and enriching. There's plenty of support. You are never in it alone. You'll be helping keep children local and closer to home and giving back to your local community as well. And you can really make a difference to young people. Thank you for listening. If you'd like some further information, these are my details. You can also visit the website to get some more information. I've put a link there to the Fostering Network. Thank you.